Hey y'all, it's Zinnecker, and today we are talking all about countertops, material, design, durability, price point, and everything in between. I am currently in the countertop picking stage for a client's kitchens, bathrooms, so I am living, sleeping, dreaming, breathing countertops right now, and I thought it would be a perfect time to talk about them with y'all. A countertop to me is the jewel of the house. It can make a design, it can break your budget. So we are talking about everything with my friend and expert, Caitlin. She's at Architectural Surfaces and she is so knowledgeable. So get ready for some information on all things countertops. Today, I'm with Caitlin. She's with Architectural Surfaces and she is the all-knowing countertop expert. I go to her for everything.
So I think first we'll dive just into types of material.
Yeah, for sure. So we can get started with marble. So there are differences. We have marbles, quartzite, and soapstone, and quartz. I would say those are the four types we will talk about most. So marble is going to be a 3 on the hardness scale. We have a scale from 1 to 10. 10 is the strength of a diamond. So with a marble, you're going to have softer, more porosity. You're going to have more etching and staining potentials, but that lends to a more natural look. It lends to a more lived-in, raw feel. So if you're the type of person that is okay with like a lived-in look, I would say a marble would be good for you. And if you're a more clean OCD type of person, then you will want to probably go with something more like a quartz or a quartzite. With a marble, there's calcium carbonate in the material, so it can stain a little more easily as well. And so if you are worried about that, you might not want to go with a marble either.
I explain it as, think about a French cafe. Those tables have been there forever. They've been lived in, they tell a story, and I think they're beautiful. Or I'll explain it like a leather sofa. You can scratch a piece of leather, you can maybe stain it, and it's pretty dramatic at the beginning. But as it wears, as it gets lived in, that stain almost goes away.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think about with a natural stone. It's porous, so you might have a really shocking stain or scratch, but I do feel like it sort of will disappear.
That's a good point. So there are layers in every natural stone. So if you happen to spill something on it, you might notice it for a few weeks, even a few months, but over time it's going to absorb into the stone. And the beauty of natural stone is you can always fix it. It's timeless and you can get it like repaired at any point. So you can rehome the entire surface, which will completely refinish it, and it'll take almost all of the stains out. You might still notice a little bit of a dull stain there, but overall you shouldn't notice it. There are also different finishes. So there's polished, which is going to be like a shiny finish. And with a marble specifically, on polished, if you place something on it, like a water or something like that, and you get a ring mark, that's going to be a honed or an etched mark. And so you'll notice more of that on a polished surface. Whereas if you get a honed marble, you're not going to notice as much of that because it's a fully etched surface. Now, with a honed marble, you can notice staining a little bit more easily because you are taking a protective shiny layer off, which is then making it more apt to staining. As long as you keep up with your sealing, we recommend with marble, you seal at least every like 3 to 6 months to keep up with it. And that's a very simple process. You would just go to any local hardware store and you can get a sealer, you apply it on and it just dries and you're good to go. I also like to recommend a natural stone cleaner that has a sealant inside of it so that every time you're cleaning your countertops, you reseal it. That's been super helpful for my clients. And if you're really worried about it and you want it to look pristine, but you want marble, there are diamond sealers. They are expensive, but they're a lifetime warranty. And then your Calcutta gold marble will look like the day it was installed.
Honing is sort of like sanding, right? So say you have a really thick wear layer of an engineered hardwood or an engineered wood, or you have a hardwood floor
and you get a ton of scratches. You could sand the whole thing.
Same thing with a soapstone. So soapstone is going to be a softer material as well. It's a 3 on the hardness scale. And you can think like science labs when you were going to school. Those are soapstone countertops. They are, so it's beautiful. It lends to more of like a scratched, aged very patina look. It's beautiful. But people are sometimes worried about the scratching, and I show them a soapstone slab and they see the scratches and it looks natural, it looks beautiful, and they're like, oh, that would never bother me actually. And that's the beauty in natural stone too. And if you get a scratch on a soapstone that's actually pretty deep or bad, you can get grit sandpaper, buff it right up. So it's really great. And with soapstone, you can oil or wax it, which brings out the blues and the greens. It enhances the color a little bit more as well, makes it a little more rich in color. Then there are dolomitic marbles as well. So dolomitic marbles are pretty much anything that's not from Italy. There's Turkey, there's Brazil is a big one, Namibia, and these are all on the hardness scale 4 to 5 instead of a 3. So it's not gonna scratch as easily, it's not gonna chip as easily, it is not gonna stain as easily either because it has less calcium carbonate. So it's actually a much more durable material altogether. I sell it to a ton of clients who are worried about maybe an Italian marble in a kitchen and they want to go with a little more durability, but they still like that white marble look. Then we tend to ship them over to a dolomitic marble, and they typically think more durable and less expensive. So they're a little bit less expensive than a Calcutta gold, and they're a little bit more durable, and you can see the difference. For an Italian marble, you're gonna have a crisp white background or crispier background, whereas with a dolomitic marble, you're gonna have more of a sugar flake background. You're gonna see more of the crystallization. So, and that's where you get more of that durability because it's crystalline quartzite.
So I feel like a lot of people are familiar with granite, right? Yes. So how would granite compare? Would it be similar to a quartzite?
Oh yeah, granite is a 5 to 6 on that hardness scale, and quartzite's an 8. So quartzite's actually gonna be even more durable. They're close to a 10, which is a diamond. So they're very durable. You don't have to really worry about scratching, chipping, any of that. I mean, you would have to really be trying to scratch or chip a quartzite countertop.
What about price point?
Price point, quartzite is going to be more expensive. So we have levels here, right? So granite is going to start with a level A, and then natural stone goes all the way up to a level G. With granite, they typically fall in the low to mid price point. So quartzite is going to start at a mid price point and go up to the highest price point. And with a marble, same thing. Starts at about a B or a C, so a mid price, and goes up to a level G, which is the highest price point.
And dolomite would be sort of
mid price. Okay. Yeah, mid price, I would say like a level 3 to 4. Yeah. Yep. So you get way more durability. With the quartzites, I would say you get a lot more color, more blues, you get more greens, more funky veining and movement. Whereas with a marble, you're gonna get a lot more of that clean, white, typical, Calcutta marbles.
And then let's talk quartz.
So quartz is going to be a man-made material. It's actually made of 93% crushed quartzite, which is the natural stone. And they break it down into sand, dust, and they mix it with resin, pigment, and fillers, dyes to make the look of a quartz. And then they bake it into a big slab and just produce it. The beauty in quartz is that you never have to worry about the slabs looking different than any other slab. They're all gonna replicate and look the exact same. Whereas with a natural stone, each slab is going to be unique and look a little bit different. So with a quartz, you don't have to hand select slabs. You just get to pick it and forget about it. And when you have it installed, you don't have to worry about sealing. There's no, unless you pick a honed quartz. If you pick a honed matte finish quartz, you will have to seal it because you're taking that protective layer off, and so you would want to seal that, but all the polished quartz you do not have to seal. On the hardness scale, it's probably closer to a 7. There's not a true hardness for it because it's not a natural stone, but because it's made of 93% crushed quartzite, and quartzite's a 7, 8, I would say it's around a 7. Okay. You don't really have to worry about chipping, you don't really have to worry about scratching. It can still happen, but it's not likely. Staining as well, it's not likely, it can still happen though. So you don't have to seal it. The thing with quartz versus a natural stone is that you really, there's not a lot of ways to fix it really.
In the price point wise, where does it fall in the bathtub?
Yeah, so I would say it's more of a mid-range. With quartz, even the top level on quartz is going to be like a mid-range natural stone.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're in a much more competitive, much more fair price point than that.
So let's talk a little bit about the actual thickness of countertops and just kind of the options that we have for finishing those out.
So there are a million ways you can edge your countertops. So there is the traditional standard eased edge, which is going to be just a bevel, soft, rounded, flat edge. that comes with typical fabrication. So that is very traditional. Now on an island, people like to maybe jazz it up a bit. So you can do an OG edge, which is more like a decorative edge. You can laminate the edge so that you can make it thicker into a double OG. You can bevel it. I mean, there's a million ways to make it look more substantial. You can carve edges to make them fun shapes. Really whatever you want to do. And a common one that's been happening a lot, and I think it's phasing out a little bit, but is a mitered edge. So thicker edge. People in Texas like everything bigger. So, you know, those thicker edges, and what they do is they drop it down, they 45 it at the angles of the countertop. And then they match it up so that the veining flows and just looks like a thick piece of stone. So people who aren't in the industry might think it's actually that thick in real life. So, but when you actually go underneath, it's a 3 cm standard. The standard natural stone is 3 cm, which is 1.25 inches thick. And then there's 2 cm, which is 3/4 of an inch thick.
And I like to tell clients, like, 2 cm is a little more modern, 3 cm is a little more traditional.
Yes.
And you have more options of that profile edge detail with a 3 cm.
2 cm is good for like walls. Wall applications.
If you think about bringing a counter up, right, you'll have that thickness coming off unless you work with your contractor ahead of time. Like we've done this before where the transition from counter to backsplash to wall was all the same. We brought the drywall out and there wasn't that.
Exactly.
Or you can add a little shelf on top.
It's just a more clean look.
More dramatic sometimes.
More dramatic too, because that's where you see the vein.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared of dramatic veining. When you look at a slab vertically, you know, you're going to see more of the veining and the movement, and it might look more bold. When you have it laid flat on your countertop, mixed with woods and other elements of the design, it actually tends to lead to more of a simple look. It's not going to be as dramatic. The only places you're really going to see it stand out are on the backsplash or anywhere where it's vertical, vent hoods, or if you waterfall the edge, which is on an island, dropping the slab all the way down to the floor. That's not really common anymore. I mean, people still do it a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like a little more of a contemporary look.
Yes.
It was very in for a while, and now I feel like
It's phasing out.
yeah.
I think now I'm seeing more of the rounded, more of the fluted, more textures and things like that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go look at some slabs.
So this is our Calcutta Chaldea. It has been very, very popular forever. It's a very timeless marble. You get the beautiful, very natural veining, and of course those green, gold, and a little bit of the blue-gray tones in there.
Yeah, so this is what we are using in the project we just did a site visit on. I'm so excited to see the end result.
It's gonna be beautiful.
And it's one of the ones where it has some pretty bold veins. I mean, it's subtle, right? It has a white background, but when it is on a countertop, it is a lot more subtle. So if clients are scared of the greens that are in it, just know that it won't be. And what we'll do is we'll take this, we'll buy this slab, we'll buy 2 of them, and then we map out our countertop exactly. So we say, I love this part of it. I want to make sure this lives on the island. We draw the island here, and then we say, okay, here's a sink, countertop, and then this is the backsplash rubbing. So it's almost like a puzzle piece to make sure you maximize the beauty of this.
Yeah.
And this is a home finish. I don't know if you can tell, but very smooth, not reflective. All right, so now we are here by a quartzite material. So still natural stone, more durable. And I would say this Taj Mahal, is really having a moment.
She is.
Very on.
Yes.
I personally love this as a designer because of the durability. I can use it in commercial spaces and still get my natural stone. And I love it because every slab is super different. You can get more purples, you can get more browns, you can get different veinings, all from what we call a Taj Mahal.
Exactly.
And this is, I don't know if you got it, this is a leather finish, which is like a more textured home.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's durable. This is one of the most durable countertops. Taj Mahal pretty much repels everything. It's classic and timeless, and the beauty in it is it can go with whatever. It can go with gray, it can go with blonde.
We've put it with pink.
Yes,
Put it with green. Put it in hair salons. So, yeah, it's the favorite.
It is.
All right, now we're going to go to a bold marble. now we are talking about marble again. It's a hung finish, but it has a bit more dramatic veining, which I love.
Yes.
What is this one?
This is Calcutta Monet, so it's an Italian marble. And the beauty in this one, and she really is having her moment right now as well.
She is.
You get the golds and the cream tones, as well as those deep eggplant purple tones as well. So it's beautiful, it's classic. It is the bubbly kind of marbled movement that everybody's really leaning into right now.
Yeah, and I would say again, I've done something similar to the kitchen, and it gets dramatic when you run the backsplash up, but if it's just on the counters, it can still feel really subtle. We're eyeing this one today at a meeting, potentially for a fireplace surround or even some really fun details in the primary shower.
It's gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah. All right, so now we're standing in front of soapstone, which is beautiful, natural. I think of like a farm kitchen. I have a quartz in my kitchen, but it replicates a soapstone. I love the dark color with like a cream or a taupe cap. And yes.
Yeah, it gives you a more moody vibe, which is really, really popular right now. The cool thing with soapstone is you get a lot of the green and the blue without it being too intense. It still reads a black countertop, but if you enhance it with an oil or a wax, you can actually bring more of those greens and blues out. And it brings out a little bit of a darker, more black finish as well. And over time, if you put this outside and you enhance it, the veining will patina over time, which it's like this beautiful rusty like color. It just really adds to the character and the beauty of a soapstone. This is Atlantis Azul. We have a couple colors. We have some in a more beige warm tone, and then we have some with the blue grays and the gold. This is mimicking a quartzite, which is the natural stone. And when the light shines through, it is stunning.
Yeah, mimicking a quartzite, but it is quartz, so it's manufactured.
Yes, it is manufactured, yeah.
So again, restaurant, backlight at a restaurant could be super, like your salon bar, you know?
Exactly. I can see it.
Right now, I hope you enjoyed the countertop tour. Stay tuned and you can see our finished project with the countertops in. I can't wait. Honestly, to me, countertops kind of feel like jewelry.
So it's the diamond of the home.
Yeah.
It is.
It's always a good day when you get to go countertop shopping. Thanks to Caitlin, the best, and thanks to y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all, so hopefully you learned a lot of great information and are excited about maybe redoing a space in your house. I know that not everyone has the budget for a designer, but I would say it is so helpful to find a showroom with someone like Caitlin available, because she is just such a resource and incredibly talented and can really help guide you on your project if you can't bring a designer along. That's it. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. This channel is young and I could use all the support I could get. Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what else you want to talk about. Thanks, y'all. Bye.